Hey, just wanted to touch base with you guys, and a lot of people wonder, like, what is the CBD for? Like, what do I use this Beethoven brain for? Well, I told you in my advert that it's extracted with physics. It doesn't use any chemical solvents or anything, so it doesn't have any impurities in it, which I like because I want the effect. So what I use it for, and obviously, is for a relaxation response in the body through the endocannabinoid system. For example, I'm back to doing my 2-a-day workouts again and going full on. I do the weight vest sprints, hill sprints in the morning, and then I go, like now, 5 o'clock p.m., I'm going to go do legs at the gym. That's a lot on the central nervous system, not the least of which is the 5 hours I spent today writing sales copy for a new business that I'm working on. So mentally, physically, taxing the stress levels in the body. So the reason why I use it again is for the relaxation response. Okay. The relaxation response is what causes the body to regenerate itself. Okay. And that allows me to have the calmness of mind to push through. So before I go do legs, in fact, I got this new bottle right here. See if I can open it while I'm holding the phone here. It's got the seal on it still. So I'm going to take some because I'm heading to the gym right now. And I use it to combat the onslaught of central nervous system stress that modern living, especially high performance, peak, capacity, physical output does on my body. So that's what I use it for. Put it under the tongue, just let it sit there, let it just kick in. And then, it just seems to give me the enhancement. The music sounds a little better. The workout goes smoother. I experience less pain, less inflammation. And it just gives me the mental edge, which is kind of the opposite of, what these energy drinks, etc. do. I still use things to gain energy. Obviously, I love to have these kind of stimulating things once in a while, especially for cognition. And for that, my favorite of choice is the DNA Evolve with the M states in it, dna-evolve.com. Try a sample, see for yourself. M states, and it's got the, the effect, what I call the snowman effect, with the hordenine and phenyl, what does it got? It says the lithium orotate. Okay, that's pretty cool. L5-MTHF. Okay, that's for the methylation issues. There's a lot of things I can go into. The methylated B12, that's the absorbable kind in the body. And then we have the phenylethylamine. It's PEA hordenine stack. That's what it is. The PEA hordenine and the ginkgo biloba to get the circulation. And so that to me is the, hey, if I want to sit down and write sales copy, if I want to crack a code because I'm reading high-level book by, Charles Proteus Steinmetz, I'm reading stuff that's way above my comprehension level. I'm trying to get into that midbrain where I can just fast read. I like to fast read, go through a book in like an hour and just, go through and allow my intuition to pick out the parts I need and then assimilate it and then go with the retroductive logic later on and look through past, life examples and pick out the wisdom and all that thing. These are things that you can do to maximize efficiency and maximize time. You don't need to use supplements, but what I use supplements for is to exactly do that, supplement. So I eat like 4,000 calories a day. It's a combination of junk food. I eat a lot of junk food. I eat like 3 candy bars a day, which you probably wouldn't surmise if you're pushing the body to the nth degree. But I mineralize my body. So I've got all the minerals, all the nutrients. And I do a very hard workout and I do a very, very hard cardio session with a weight vest on. And trust me, it's really challenging. It's not for even, I could take your average 20, you give me any college athlete in their 20s and their, young 20s, and I'll put them up to my workouts and I guarantee you I will challenge them to their breaking point when the physical capacity and the central nervous system kick in. Unless they're extremely conditioned, they're going to feel it, is what I'm saying. And I'm 43 years old. And the reason why I love doing this is because I was bedridden and bankrupt when I had Lyme disease. I was bedridden. I couldn't do this. So by losing my ability to do this, I want it more than most people. I don't like sitting around on the couch. I don't envy those who have it easy with a comfortable do nothing approach to life. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I don't surround myself with high levels of comfort, because I find that it's a detriment to peak performance. So I surround myself with very modest means, and I'm always keeping myself hungry for the next level, because it's all about the mission. So my mission in life is to crack the codes of wisdom and to break through, like I did when I had Lyme disease, I was bedridden, like I did when I had eating disorders, and I cracked the code, broke free from that. You know, things that most people don't have to ever deal with, except for now that they're put under the constraints of global TYRANNY, and they're having to face head on some of their deepest fears. Well, guess what I recommend in these times? When your natural instinct is to pull back, it reminds me of a story I learned when I was going into bantam level hockey, where checking, takes place and you're getting physical contact. I had a mentor who was playing semi-pro hockey at the time, and he said, listen, your instinct is going to be to pull back. He goes, if you pull back when you're going to the boards, you're going to get crushed. He said, instead, you want to go into the boards full on, and you want to take everything you got to the opponent and go head on. It makes no sense whatsoever, because you're going head on to somebody who's going head on to you. But he said, that's the best way not to get hurt. So what I recommend is when your instinct is to pull back, like right now, because there's fear, uncertainty, and doubt everywhere in all the markets, this is when you want to be thinking about, how can I step in and swoop up opportunity right now while everybody's pulling back? This is your opening. This is your opportunity. That's the blessing in disguise here. The blessing in disguise is that everybody is retreating in fear. They're cowering. See, they're all hiding. And if you want to seize the day, then now's your chance. So physically strong means mentally strong. It's all one. The more you push the body, the more you push through your barriers and your walls, the stronger you're going to get to persevere even up here. It's just all one thing. And so let me give you a little secret of what I do. So it's probably no secret, because I did my last workshop and I had Michael Jaco come and teach at the workshop. He was a former Navy SEAL, SEAL Team 6, and also CIA. And, you can just watch him do his live streams with his shirt off. He's ripped. The guy is a machine. So these are the kind of people that I model. And the reason why I model them is because whatever they're doing to perform at that level, I want to know how to do that. And so what I do is I have this technique called self-entrainment technique. And I learned it from very high level people that learned how to use physiology to lock in states of being, and that transforms you from within. So peak levels of energy, performance, etc. You have access to change that. You have more influence over yourself than you even are aware of. And so what I did is I go and I rented the SEAL Team TV series, the movie series. It's like 6 discs, right? And so I did this about, a week ago. And at the time I decided, I was done being, I was at three workouts a week. I was kicking back. I was just pausing life just to kind of see where I wanted to go. And then I said, you know what, enough's enough. I want to be extreme, because that's what makes me happy. I want to push. I want to drive. I want to perform like a race car all the time. Unless I'm in the shop getting fixed, I want to perform. And so I said, okay, let's go back to doing what I know works. So I watch the videos, and see, you become what you focus on and what you look at, okay? And so I started watching all the videos in the series, and what that did was it gave me inspiration to take it to the next level. So I went back to my 2-a-day workouts again. I went back to pushing hard, pushing through. To, a few days ago I was doing cardio. I felt like I was going to throw up everywhere. It reminded me of hockey, doing mountains all the time. And then use the self-entrainment technique to keep the peak levels all the time. So for me, that's joy. Joy for me is in overcoming obstacles and breaking through and hitting the next levels in whatever I'm focusing on. And so that's what makes me excited. So I follow my excitement, my passion in every moment. I teach that 3-2-1. Follow the fastest path to your joy in every moment, and keep doing that, and it will lead you to where you're supposed to be. It's your compass. And so with that said, I've got new businesses I'm working on, and how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're used to performing at very high levels, you're going to perform at very high levels. You know, I noticed, I've been watching Michael Jaco's channel, and he had just started his channel right before our workshop, and he's already getting thousands of views on there, and it's blowing up. And, you know, of course it is, because how you do anything is how you do everything. So if people are used to performing at the top level of everything they do, they're going to be at the top level of everything they do. And success leaves clues. So you learn how to model people like this. You buy their courses, you read their material, and you do what they tell you to do. And you know, nourish your body, and you take care of yourself. And, you know, that's all there is to this. And right now you have to look at the, you know, the law of polarity says that for every, you know, force going one direction, there's an equal force going this direction. So if the force is going towards fear, shutdown, panic, everybody reserved, holding back, stagnation, that means that there's an equal and opposite force that's happening for massive, massive capture of opportunity right now. It's just whether or not you want it. I promise you there are people right now that are seizing positions for when this whole thing washes over. They're going to come out on top, and they're going to be exponentially beyond where they ever were, because they made a decision that instead of holding back, they're going to push through and persevere through. It's pretty cool, huh? And so I heard somebody say this the other day. Consequently, this guy was another Navy SEAL. I just like watching these guys because they're the best in the world at what they do. So why would I not want to watch people that are the best in the world at what they do? I do that with everything from guitarists to vocalists to physical athletes, etc. And I pick up clues from all of them, and then I use them in my day-to-day life. And this guy said this. He said how he got through BUDS. You know, that's the training for the Navy SEALs. That's very, very hard. Most people can't do it. But he said somebody that was his mentor said to him that far lesser men have gotten through this. And so he held on to that. And that's what got him through. And that's an idea. And so you can take an idea and hold on to a single idea. And as long as you work with it and you keep working with it, it can take you to levels that you never dreamed possible. An example is, for me, when I was getting through Lyme disease, it took me 6 years to go from bedridden to training like a pro athlete. But the idea I held on to is that I never lived a physical life. That was Mary Baker Eddy's work. I never lived a life of corruptibility within flesh. I'm always the reflection of God. Therefore, God's strength is my strength. And there is no room for anything unlike God to come against that. Now, my flesh fought me for many years over that, but once I got rid of the fear and once I pushed through it, it's a perseverance game. Whoever perseveres longest is going to win. I pushed through it, and it was well worth it. So, what I recommend for you right now, and I'm really, really shooting for this as your minister, if you're listening to me, is I'm telling you to step your game up right now. Prepare. Don't hide and retreat. Don't hide in the corner of your house. Don't assume the world is over. Don't play that game. That's the enemy of your soul coming against you, trying to get you to forfeit your power. Your power is inside. Turn within. Learn about the I Am teachings of Saint Germain. Learn about Mary Baker Eddy's work. Learn about consciousness. Learn about ascension. Focus on being the best of the best at whatever you want to do in life, being the best of the best. And then model people who are the best of the best at what they do. And you'll discover that there's one thing that's in common with everybody who's the best of the best, and it's their attitude and how they approach the situation. Because how you approach the situation determines how you come out of the situation. At least from my experience, I know that to be true. So I'm feeling really good right now because I'm doing my 2-a-days. And, you know, the reason why I eat junk food is because I can. That's what I tell people. Look, they're afraid to eat because they don't want to get fat, lazy, out of shape, whatever it is, sick. You know what? I don't believe in sickness, okay, because it's mostly a mental thing in my perspective. And I also believe that my body's a fat-burning furnace, and since I work out twice a day, I can have 2 or 3 candy bars every single day. I can eat pizza, I can eat hot dogs, I can eat whatever I want in certain proportions, obviously. And sometimes I won't want any of that. I'll want a salad. I'll want whatever I want. and I'll be okay with it, and I'll give myself permission to enjoy every bite of that experience. And so that to me is a life that is complete from my perspective. So I wanted to share that with you guys. People were saying, why CBD? You talk about, you don't need products and this and that. Well, yeah, you don't need anything. But you do need to eat, you need to drink, you need these things because you believe in them, and you'll die if you don't have them because you believe you need food and water to survive, okay? It's a deeply held belief. As long as you operate from any level of physicality, you better operate within those confines or you're going to, exit out stage left pretty quick. So this to me, relaxation is just as important as full-on aggression and whatever else you're using to take your game to the next level. It's the balance, right? If you're always pushing, you better learn how to relax and hold back and to refrain and to allow, so that you can walk in balance. Otherwise, if you get out of balance, you're going to create symptoms of being out of balance in life. And that is the American way of doing things, is always to have to-do lists and go. That's the standard of what we were doing for so long before lockdown. And 3 out of 5 people in America had a chronic diagnosable disease, okay? So what does that tell you? It means that there's a force going in one direction and it's out of balance. Because just as much as you have to go on caffeine and coffee and do all these things, you also have to pull back, relax, and also get back into the center and to pull out, so to speak, of all of the stress. Otherwise, you're going to have serious problems. I just met with my best friend yesterday, and speaking of that, I did an avatar sheet on him, which is how I build companies. I start with an avatar of a client. I build a whole company around a dream customer, and then I look for that customer scaling up to, ad infinitum, thousands of customers like that one customer. Because I don't want to do business with everybody. I want to do business with one person and then scale it up to have many of those one people, because that's my dream business. I learned that from, Ryan Dice and, marketing, etc. So he said his number one pain in life is the stress of having all of this busyness going on. And obviously that leads to, less time with the family. It leads to challenges with relationships because you're always doing so much and going, and the body tends to get out of balance. So therein lies the mystery of the riddle of why I believe in CBD, relaxation response, endocannabinoid system in the body. It's all designed to bring things back into balance. All right, with that said, just want to give you a quick update, and hope you're liking the gratitude series. Sabrina and I really love doing those together and bringing that content to you. And we're going to do it as long as we find joy in it. God bless.